The Starship Pioneer slowly approached the blue-green planet. Its sleek hull gleamed in the light of an alien sun. Inside, Captain Sarah Chen took a deep breath. After years of planning and months of travel, they were finally here. New Hope, humanity's first colony beyond the solar system. All systems ready for landing, Captain. First Officer Mike Torres reported. Sarah nodded. Take us down, Mike. Let's make history. The ship descended through wispy clouds. As they broke through, the crew gasped. Below them stretched vast forests and shimmering oceans. It was more beautiful than they had imagined. Hours later, Sarah stood on solid ground. She watched as colonists poured out of the ship, their faces filled with wonder and excitement. Scientists rushed to set up their equipment, eager to study this new world. Dr. Emily Wong, the lead scientist, approached Sarah with a frown. Captain, we're picking up a strange signal. It's not natural. Sarah's heart raced. Alien. Emily nodded. It seems to be coming from deep space. We need to decode it. For days, the best minds on New Hope worked tirelessly. The colonists whispered nervously. What if they weren't alone? What if something dangerous was out there? On the 5th day, Emily burst into the command center. Her face was pale. We've done it. We've decoded the message. Sarah leaned forward. What does it say? Emily's hands shook as she handed over a tablet. Sarah read the words and felt a chill run down her spine. From Galactic Empire to Human Colonists. MESSAG. Stay away from Earth. The room fell silent. Sarah read the message again, hoping she had made a mistake. But the words remained unchanged. This can't be right, Mike said, breaking the silence. Earth? Why would aliens care about Earth? Sarah shook her head. I don't know, but this changes everything. News of the message spread quickly. The once excited colonists now huddled in fearful groups. Some wanted to return to Earth immediately. Others argued they should stay and try to learn more. In her quarters, Sarah paced back and forth. The weight of command had never felt heavier. She had to make a decision that would affect not just the colony, but possibly all of humanity. A knock on the door interrupted her thoughts. It was Emily. Captain, we've detected more signals. They're everywhere. Sarah followed Emily to the science lab. On a large screen, countless dots blinked. Each one represented an alien signal. The galaxy is buzzing with activity, Emily explained, and it seems like Earth is at the center of it all. Sarah stared at the screen, her mind racing. We need to warn Earth. They have to know what's happening. But when they tried to send a message back to their home planet, nothing worked. It was as if something was blocking their signals. As night fell on New Hope, the colonists gathered in the main square. Sarah stood before them, trying to look calmer than she felt. I know you're all scared, she began. I am too, but we can't let fear control us. We came here to start a new chapter for humanity. Now it seems that chapter might be more important than we ever imagined. She looked at the faces before her, scientists, engineers, farmers, and their families. They had all risked everything to come here. Whatever's happening with Earth, whatever this galactic empire is, we need to find out more. We need to be ready. Because if Earth is in danger, we might be humanity's last hope. A murmur ran through the crowd. Sarah saw fear in their eyes, but also determination. As the twin moons of New Hope rose in the alien sky, the human colonists prepared for an uncertain future. They had come seeking a new world, but found themselves caught in a galactic mystery. And at the center of it all was the planet they had left behind, Earth. The warning was clear: stay away from Earth. But for the brave colonists of New Hope, it was just the beginning of an adventure beyond their wildest dreams. Back on Earth, the mood was tense. Leaders from around the world gathered in a secret underground facility. The room buzzed with worried whispers and nervous glances. General Maria Rodriguez stood at the front, her face grim. Ladies and gentlemen, we've lost contact with New Hope Colony. Their last message was disturbing. She played the recording. The alien warning echoed through the room. Stay away from Earth. A heavy silence fell. Then chaos erupted. It's a hoax. We're under attack. We must prepare for war. General Rodriguez raised her hand for silence. We don't know what this means yet, but we need answers. Fast. She turned to a man in the corner. Dr. Alex Kumar, you'll lead a special task force. Find out everything you can about Earth's history with aliens. Leave no stone unturned. Alex nodded, his mind already racing with possibilities. For weeks, the task force worked tirelessly. They dug through ancient texts, analyzed satellite data, and interviewed people who claimed to have seen UFOs. One day, a young researcher burst into Alex's office. Dr. Kumar, you need to see this. She showed him a series of strange readings from deep within the Earth. Alex's eyes widened. These energy patterns, they're not natural. They took their findings to General Rodriguez. She stared at the data, her face pale. Are you saying there's alien technology inside our planet? Alex nodded. It seems so. And it's old. Very old. The investigation expanded. Teams of scientists and military personnel were sent to dig sites around the world. They found fragments of strange metals, crystals that glowed with inner light, and cave paintings that showed impossible machines. But the biggest discovery came from an unexpected place. In a dusty library in Tibet, a monk showed Alex an ancient scroll. The faded text spoke of a prophecy. When the stars align, Earth shall awaken. The sleeping giant stirs, a weapon unmatched in all the cosmos. Alex's hands shook as he read the translation. Could it be true? Was Earth itself some kind of weapon? He reported back to General Rodriguez. She listened in stunned silence. If this is true, she said slowly, it explains the alien warning. They're afraid of us, of what Earth might become. But not everyone was convinced. Some world leaders wanted to ignore the findings. Others saw it as a chance to gain power. In a tense meeting, the Chinese president stood up. We must unlock this power. Earth could rule the galaxy. The American president shook her head. It's too dangerous. We don't understand what we're dealing with. As arguments raged, Alex slipped out of the room. He found a quiet spot and looked up at the night sky. Somewhere out there, the colonists of New Hope were facing their own challenges. And now, it seemed, the fate of Earth, and perhaps the galaxy, hung in the balance. His phone buzzed. It was a message from one of his team members. Dr. Kumar, we found something big. An underground chamber. You need to see this. Alex's heart raced as he read the coordinates. The location was in the heart of the Amazon rainforest. As he prepared to leave, he couldn't shake a feeling of dread. They were on the verge of uncovering Earth's greatest secret, but at what cost? The next morning, as Alex's plane took off for the Amazon, news broke worldwide. Strange lights had been seen in the sky over major cities. Social media exploded with theories and panicked posts. In the secret facility, General Rodriguez watched the reports with growing concern. She turned to her aide. Get me the president. It's time to tell the world what we know. As Earth buzzed with fear and excitement, the human race stood on the brink of a revelation that would change everything. The warning to stay away from Earth had only been the beginning. Now, the real adventure was about to start. And somewhere in the vast expanse of space, the Galactic Empire watched and waited, knowing that their worst fears might soon come true. Dr. Samantha Lee stared at the computer screen, her eyes wide with disbelief. This can't be right, she muttered. Her colleague, Dr. Raj Patel, leaned over her shoulder. What is it, Sam? These readings from the Amazon site, she said, pointing to a graph. They're off the charts. Whatever's down there, it's not from Earth. Raj whistled softly. We need to go there. See it for ourselves. Sam nodded slowly. But you know what they'll say. It's too dangerous. They'll want to study it from a distance. Raj's eyes gleamed with excitement. Then we don't ask permission. We go ourselves. And so, in the dead of night, a small group of scientists made their plans. They were the brightest minds from around the world, united by their burning curiosity and their frustration with the official investigation's slow pace. They called themselves the Rebel Expedition. As dawn broke, alarms blared in the secret facility. General Rodriguez stormed into the control room. "What do you mean they're gone?" A nervous technician pointed to a screen showing an empty hangar. "The experimental spacecraft, ma'am. It's missing, along with Dr. Lee, Dr. Patel, and 5 others." Rodriguez slammed her fist on the desk. "Track them down. Now." But it was too late. The rebel scientists had disabled all tracking systems on their ship. They were on their own, heading towards Earth orbit. In the cramped cockpit of the stolen spacecraft, Sam checked their course. "We're on track," she announced. "Next stop, the dark side of the moon." Raj raised an eyebrow. "The moon? I thought we were going to the Amazon." Sam grinned. "We are. But first, we need to pick up something." As they approached the moon, their sensors began to beep wildly. "There," Sam pointed to a crater, just where the ancient texts said it would be. Hidden in the shadows was a structure that clearly wasn't natural. As they landed nearby, the team suited up in their space gear, hearts pounding with excitement. Inside the lunar structure, they found what they were looking for, a strange glowing artifact that pulsed with otherworldly energy. "It's beautiful," whispered Dr. Chen, their physicist, as she carefully placed it in a containment unit. Back on the ship, they set course for Earth. But as they approached their home planet, something strange happened. "We're caught in some kind of energy field," Raj shouted, fighting with the controls. The ship shuddered and shook. Outside the windows, the sky seemed to ripple and bend. Suddenly, everything went quiet. The energy field disappeared. "Is everyone okay?" Sam asked, looking around at her shaken colleagues. They nodded, but their relief was short-lived. As they looked out the windows again, they gasped in unison. Earth had changed. The continents were different shapes. Strange structures dotted the surface, glowing with the same energy as the lunar artifact. "What's happening?" Dr. Chen whispered. Sam's mind raced. "The prophecy," she said. "Earth is awakening." As they descended towards the Amazon, they saw that the rainforest had parted, revealing a massive structure rising from the ground. They landed nearby, their excitement mixed with fear. As they stepped out of the ship, the air crackled with energy. Raj pointed to the structure. "Look, an entrance is opening." Indeed, a doorway had appeared in the side of the enormous building. It seemed to beckon them forward. Sam took a deep breath. "This is it, team. We're about to uncover the truth about Earth. Are you ready?" They nodded, determination in their eyes. As they approached the entrance, the ground beneath their feet began to hum. The air shimmered with strange colors. Just before they stepped inside, Sam's communicator crackled to life. It was General Rodriguez's voice, filled with panic. "Dr. Lee, do you copy? The Galactic Empire's fleet has entered our solar system. They're heading straight for Earth. Whatever you've done, you need to undo it now." The rebel scientists looked at each other, fear and excitement mingling in their eyes. They had come seeking answers, but it seemed they had set in motion events that could change the fate of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy. With one last look at the sky, now filled with approaching alien ships, they stepped into the ancient structure. The truth about Earth awaited them inside, and with it, perhaps, the key to humanity's survival. The air inside the ancient structure hummed with energy. Dr. Samantha Lee led her team down a long, glowing corridor. Their footsteps echoed strangely, as if the very walls were alive. "Look at these markings," Dr. Raj Patel said, running his hand along the wall. Symbols lit up at his touch, pulsing with an inner light. Dr. Chen, the the physicist, scanned the walls with her device. "These aren't just decorations," she gasped. "They're instructions, like a user manual for the planet." Suddenly, the ground shook violently. The team stumbled, grabbing onto each other for support. "What was that?" Rad shouted over the rumbling. Sam's eyes widened in realization. "It's starting. Earth is waking up." They rushed forward, following the glowing symbols. The corridor opened into a vast chamber. In the center stood a massive crystal, pulsing with energy. "It's a control room," Sam breathed, "for the entire planet." As they approached the crystal, images flashed around them. They saw Earth as it truly was, not just a planet, but an ancient spacecraft of unimaginable power. "It's transforming," Chen said, her voice filled with awe. "Reshaping itself." Outside, chaos reigned. People watched in terror as mountains shifted and oceans churned. New landmasses rose from the depths, while others sank beneath the waves. In orbit, the New Hope colony ship had returned, drawn back by the strange energies. Captain Sarah Chen stared in disbelief at the changing planet below. "It can't be," she whispered. "Earth is moving." Indeed, the entire planet was breaking free from its orbit, propelled by engines hidden deep within its core. Back in the control room, Sam and her team worked frantically to understand the alien technology. "We need to stop this," Rad shouted. "We're not ready." But Sam shook her head. "We can't stop it. It's been waiting for this moment for millions of years. All we can do is try to guide it." She placed her hands on the crystal. Instantly, her mind was flooded with knowledge. She saw the history of Earth, its true purpose, and the danger that now approached. "The Galactic Empire," she gasped. "They're not here to protect us. They want to control Earth's power for themselves." In space, the Empire's fleet arrived. Thousands of ships, stretching as far as the eye could see. Their weapons were primed, ready to subdue the awakening planet. Admiral Zix, leader of the Empire's forces, smiled coldly. "At last," he said, "the ultimate weapon is ours for the taking." But Earth had other plans. As the Empire's ships approached, the planet's defenses sprang to life. Hidden weapon systems, dormant for eons, powered up. In the control room, Sam worked tirelessly, guiding Earth's transformation. The others helped as best they could, following her instructions. "Look," Chen pointed to a screen. It showed humans all over the world, their eyes glowing with the same energy that filled the control room. "Earth is connecting with its people." Sam nodded. "We're all part of its defense system. Earth chose us as its guardians long ago." Outside, the battle began. The Empire's ships fired their weapons, but Earth's shields held strong. Massive energy beams shot from the planet's surface, cutting through the alien fleet. Admiral Zix's confident smile faded. "Impossible," he roared. "All ships, concentrate fire on the planet's core." But it was too late. Earth was fully awake now, its power beyond anything the Empire had imagined. In the control room, Sam made a decision. "We can't let the Empire have this power," she said, "but we can't destroy them either. That would make us no better than them." She closed her eyes, concentrating hard. The crystal pulsed brightly. In space, a massive energy wave burst from Earth, washing over the Empire's fleet. But instead of destroying the ships, it simply stopped them. "What's happening?" Raj asked. Sam opened her eyes, a look of wonder on her face. "Earth is showing them the truth. About themselves, about us, about the entire galaxy." As the energy waves spread through space, touching planets and civilizations far beyond their solar system, Sam and her team knew that nothing would ever be the same. Earth, the sleeping giant, had finally awakened, and with it, a new chapter in the history of the galaxy had begun. Admiral Zix paced the bridge of his massive flagship. His tentacles twitched with anger as he watched Earth glow with newfound power. "This cannot stand," he hissed to his second in command. "Prepare the nullifier." On the planet below, Dr. Samantha Lee felt a chill run down her spine. Something was wrong. She turned to her team in the Earth's control room. The Empire is planning something big. We need to be ready. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ancient structure. Raj rushed to a console, his eyes wide with fear. Sam, look at this. A holographic display showed a massive weapon forming in space. Pieces of the Empire's ships were combining, creating something terrifying. It's the Nullifier, Chen gasped. A weapon designed to shut down planetary defenses. Sam's mind raced. She placed her hands on the crystal control panel, connecting with Earth's consciousness. Earth knows about it, she said. It's seen this weapon before, in ancient battles. Outside, the sky turned dark as the Nullifier took shape. It was bigger than a moon, bristling with energy weapons. Admiral Zix's voice boomed across all communication channels. People of Earth, surrender now. Your planet may have awakened, but we have the power to put it back to sleep, permanently. In orbit, Captain Sarah Chen of the New Hope colony ship watched in horror. We have to do something, she said to her crew. Earth is our home. Back in the control room, Sam made a decision. We need to activate Earth's defense systems, all of them. Raj looked worried. But we barely understand how they work. We could destroy everything. Sam nodded grimly. It's a risk we have to take. She closed her eyes, concentrating hard. The crystal pulsed with energy, and the entire room hummed with power. Across the planet, hidden structures began to rise. Mountains split open, revealing massive cannons. Oceans parted as energy shields flickered to life. In every city, every village, people felt a strange connection. They knew, somehow, what they had to do. Admiral Zix watched in disbelief as Earth transformed. Impossible, he muttered. Then, louder, fire the Nullifier. Now, the massive weapon powered up, its energy building to impossible levels. With a flash that outshone the sun, it fired. Sam opened her eyes. Brace yourselves, she warned. The blast hit Earth's shields. For a moment, it seemed like they would hold. But then cracks appeared, spreading rapidly. The shields are failing, Raj shouted. Sam gritted her teeth. Not yet. They're not. She reached out with her mind, connecting not just with Earth, but with every human on the planet. In that moment, they were one. Millions of voices cried out as one, their combined will strengthening the planet's defenses. The cracks in the shield began to heal. Admiral Zix couldn't believe his eyes. Fire again, he ordered. Full power. The Nullifier charged up for another blast. But this time, Earth was ready. From every corner of the planet, energy beams shot into space. They converged on the Nullifier, enveloping it in a sphere of pure power. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, with a silent flash, the Nullifier disappeared. Not destroyed, but teleported far across the galaxy. Admiral Zix stared at the empty space where his super weapon had been. For the first time in his long life, he felt fear. On Earth, people cheered as they felt the threat disappear. But in the control room, Sam and her team knew it wasn't over yet. The Empire will be desperate now, she said. They'll throw everything they have at us. Raj nodded grimly. So what do we do? Sam looked at the crystal, pulsing with the combined energy of Earth and its people. We show them who we really are, she said. Not just Earth, but all of humanity. She placed her hands on the crystal once more. This time, she didn't just connect with the planet. She reached out to the stars themselves. As the Empire's fleet prepared for their final assault, a message spread across the galaxy. It wasn't in words, but in feelings, memories, hopes, and dreams. The truth about Earth, about humanity, about the power of unity and compassion, touched every corner of space. The battle for Earth had begun, but it would be fought not with weapons, but with something far more powerful: understanding. The galaxy held its breath. Earth, once a quiet blue marble, now pulsed with ancient power. The Galactic Empire's fleet hung in space, weapons ready but unused. In Earth's control room, Dr. Samantha Lee opened her eyes. The crystal under her hands hummed softly. "It's time," she said to her team. Earth is ready to show its true form. Outside, the planet began to change. Continents shifted, oceans swirled. Mountains rose and fell like waves. In orbit, Captain Sarah Chen watched in awe from her colony ship. "It's beautiful," she whispered. The transformation lasted for hours. When it was done, Earth was no longer just a planet. It was a massive, living spaceship. Its surface was a mix of natural landscapes and gleaming technology. Admiral Zix stared at the transformed Earth, his many eyes wide with shock. "By the eternal void," he muttered. The legends were true. A voice boomed across space, heard by every being in the galaxy. It was Earth itself, speaking through Samantha. "People of the galaxy, hear us. We are Earth, the ancient guardian. We have slept for millions of years, waiting for the right time to awaken." In the Empire's palace, far across the galaxy, the Emperor himself listened with growing fear. Earth continued. "We chose humans as our caretakers, to grow and learn until they were ready for the truth. That time is now." Images flashed across the minds of every being in the galaxy. They saw Earth's history, its true purpose, and the danger that threatened them all. "Long ago," Earth explained, "a great darkness swept across the universe. It consumed whole galaxies. We were created to stop it." Admiral Zix's anger turned to understanding. "The Empire. We thought we were protecting the galaxy. But we were wrong." In the control room, Raj turned to Samantha. "The Empire isn't our enemy, are they? They're just misguided." Sam nodded. "They forgot their true purpose, just like Earth did for a while." The Earth voice continued. "The Galactic Empire was meant to prepare the galaxy for our awakening. But fear and greed corrupted their mission. On his throne, the Emperor fell to his knees. 'What have we done?' he whispered. Earth's next words shook the universe. 'The darkness is returning. We must unite to face it, not as empire and rebels, but as one galactic family.' In that moment, the truth became clear to all. The warning to stay away from Earth wasn't a threat. It was a desperate attempt to keep the Guardian asleep until the right time. Admiral Zix made a decision. He opened a channel to Earth. "Guardian," he said, his voice heavy with emotion, "the Empire has lost its way. But if you'll have us, we're ready to fulfill our true purpose." Samantha smiled. Through her, Earth replied, "We welcome you, old friends. The battle ahead will need all of us." As the Earth ship and the Empire's fleet came together, a new alliance was born. But not everyone was happy. In the shadows of the galaxy, those who served the coming darkness watched with anger. On a distant planet of eternal night, a figure cloaked in swirling black mist observed the events unfolding. Its voice was like the void between stars. "So the Guardian awakens," it hissed. "No matter. We have grown strong in the silence. The Feast of Galaxies will soon begin." Back on Earth, Samantha felt a chill. She turned to her team, her eyes serious. "This is just the beginning," she said. "The real test is yet to come." Raj nodded, determination on his face. "Whatever's out there, we'll face it together. Earth, humanity, and our new allies." As stars twinkled in the sky, the galaxy prepared for the greatest challenge it had ever faced. The darkness was coming. But this time, Earth was awake, and it wasn't alone. The warning that had started it all, "Stay away from Earth," now had a new meaning. It was a challenge to the darkness that threatened them all. A declaration that this planet, this Guardian, and its people were ready to fight for the fate of the universe. The galaxy was on high alert. Earth, now a massive living spaceship, led a united fleet of former enemies. Humans worked side by side with aliens from the Galactic Empire, preparing for the coming darkness. In Earth's control room, Dr. Samantha Lee studied a holographic map of the galaxy. Red spots showed where the darkness was spreading. "It's moving faster than we thought," she said, her voice tight with worry. Admiral Zix, once their enemy and now a trusted ally, nodded grimly. "We must act now, or all will be lost." Suddenly, alarms blared. Raj rushed to a console, his eyes wide. "It's here. The darkness has reached our galaxy." Outside, stars began to flicker and die. A wave of absolute blackness swept towards them, consuming everything in its path. Earth's voice, speaking through Samantha, echoed across the galaxy. "All forces, prepare for battle. This is the moment we've waited for." As the United Fleet moved to face the darkness, Captain Sarah Chen of the New Hope colony ship made a difficult decision. "We're not warriors," she told her crew, "but we can help evacuate planets in the darkness's path." Across the galaxy, billions of beings watched and waited. The fate of everything rested on this final stand. The darkness struck first. Tendrils of void lashed out, wrapping around ships and planets alike. Wherever they touched, life simply stopped. Earth unleashed its full power. Beams of pure energy shot from its surface, pushing back the darkness. The Empire's ships added their firepower, creating a dazzling light show against the encroaching black. For a moment, it seemed to be working. The darkness retreated, if only a little. But then it surged forward again, stronger than ever. Ships exploded silently in space. Whole planets winked out of existence. In the control room, Samantha felt Earth's pain as the darkness attacked. "We're losing," she gasped. Raj looked at her, determination in his eyes. "There must be something else we can do." Samantha closed her eyes, connecting deeply with Earth's consciousness. In that moment, she understood. "There is a way," she said slowly, "but the cost, it's almost too high." Admiral Zix leaned forward. "Whatever it is, it must be done. The fate of the galaxy hangs in the balance." Samantha nodded, tears in her eyes. "Earth can release all of its energy at once. It would push back the darkness, maybe even destroy it." But what?" Raj asked, though he feared he knew the answer. "Earth wouldn't survive," Samantha whispered, "and neither would anyone on it." A heavy silence fell over the control room. The choice before them was impossible. Sacrifice Earth and its people, or watch the entire galaxy fall to darkness. Outside, the battle raged on. More and more ships fell to the void. The darkness pressed closer, its victory seemingly assured. Samantha stood up, her decision made. "We have to do it. Earth agrees. It's why we were created after all." She placed her hands on the crystal control panel one last time. Energy surged through her as Earth prepared for its final act. But before she could activate the sequence, Raj grabbed her hand. "Wait, I have an idea." He quickly explained his plan. It was dangerous, maybe even impossible. But if it worked... Samantha's eyes widened. "It just might work," she breathed. "Earth thinks so too." They sprang into action. As the darkness closed in, Earth began to change again. Its entire form shifted, becoming something new, something never seen before. The darkness paused, as if confused by this unexpected development. In that moment, Earth struck. But instead of releasing its energy in a destructive blast, it did something else. It absorbed the darkness. The great ship groaned and shuddered. Cracks appeared on its surface as it took in more and more of the void. Across the galaxy, everyone held their breath. Had Earth sacrificed itself after all? Then, slowly, the cracks began to heal. The darkness, once a terrifying force of destruction, was being transformed. Earth was using its ancient power not to destroy, but to create. In a blinding flash of light, it was over. Where the darkness had been, there were now new stars, new planets, new hope. Earth hung in space, forever changed but still alive. And with it, a second chance for the entire galaxy. As celebrations erupted across the universe, Samantha looked out at the stars with tears of joy. The warning that had started it all, "Stay away from Earth," had led to this moment of unity and rebirth. Earth had fulfilled its purpose, not through destruction, but through the very thing that made humanity special, the power to change, to grow, and to turn darkness into light.